The story takes place in a village in the Black Sea region in 1998. My name is Serkan, and I was born and raised in Istanbul, a child of an ordinary family. My father was a civil servant. Familiar with the challenges of living in Istanbul, he worked hard to provide education for my sibling and me, often taking on extra jobs on weekends. Due to financial constraints, as a result, my father couldn't spend enough time with us, and I used to resent him for it. Now, at the age of 35, married and a father of two, I understand how unjustly I judged him. I used to love the summer months. Because they brought financial relief to us, my father would typically fulfill my needs, such as a bicycle or a computer, at the end of the summer when we harvested and sold hazelnuts from our orchards in the hometown. Every year, we would go to our village in early August, harvest the hazelnuts, and returned to Istanbul in early September. The August of 1998 was a bit different from other years, and after those nightmare-filled days, we never set foot in our hometown again that year. As a report card gift, I had asked my father for an Atari when he promised to get it after the hazelnut harvest. I felt like the world was mine. Oh God, I couldn't wait to work in the hazelnut orchards in our village. I probably wouldn't have been so eager to work if it weren't for the prospect of getting what I wanted. One evening, our bus was scheduled to depart from the bus station at 8 p.m. as we were packing our bags. I remembered that I had forgotten my Walkman, which I bought last year. I rushed to my room, grabbed the Walkman, and also took a few tapes that I used to record music from the radio, using the record button on the stereo. Our journey from Istanbul to our village was a grueling 12 hours. Uncle Osman, a friend of my father, had come with his car to take us to the bus station. After quickly loading the luggage into the trunk, we got into the car. The distance between home and the bus station was 20 minutes. We soon boarding the bus, we set off on our journey. Crossing the Bosphorus Bridge, I thought to myself, I will miss this city. Every time I went to the village, I found myself missing Istanbul. A week later, let me tell you a bit about our village. I don't need to talk about the greenery, the Black Sea. It goes without saying. We had large trees and forests just like everywhere else. Settlements and their surroundings were generally surrounded by hazelnut orchards. The village center was built on a flat area, more like a small town with about 130 to 150 houses, where villagers did their shopping. As you moved away from the center, you would encounter high hills. Our grandparents' house, where we would stay, was located in the middle of one of these hills. It was about a 25-minute walk from the center. On the way, there was an old, abandoned school and a wooden bridge over the village stream that we had to cross. Every time I crossed that bridge, an inexplicable chill ran down my spine. Between the village square and the bridge, there were only two houses. One was far from the bridge, and the other was about 50 meters behind it. In the latter lived an elderly woman named Fatim. She was a strange woman who lived alone, never spoke to anyone, and would hide when she saw someone. I'll come back to this woman later. After the bridge, the ascent to the hill began. It was a desolate and rocky road, surrounded by forests on both sides. Even during the day, I sometimes wondered what I would feel if I had to pass through that road at night all by myself. According to my grandfather, Greek people used to live in our village in the past, during the War of Independence. The Rum who fled from here buried their gold and valuable belongings in various places, hoping to return after the war. My grandfather mentioned that a few people in the village had found gold, but no one had searched for treasure since the recent incident. Last year, one day, some strangers came to the village. They introduced themselves as government officials and said they would be conducting a survey. My grandfather suspected their intentions due to their contradictory statements and thought they came to search for gold. When he explained the situation to them, I overheard him. After that, the men seemed frightened and left the village. The incident unfolded like this. It was the year 1979. 3 young men, including Mehmet, Fadim's son, were constantly searching for treasure. One day, while wandering by the stream, Mehmet noticed some markings carved on a large rock near the wooden bridge. Excitedly, he thought they might be Greek letters. Although he had passed by many times before, he had never noticed them. That evening, as always, Mehmet met with his friends at the village cafe and told them about the rock. His friends, eager to investigate, grabbed shovels and said, "Let's go." They headed to the stream. When they arrived, Mehmet's attention was drawn to the wooden bridge. On the bridge, a few indistinct figures were watching them. In panic, Mehmet warned his friends, and they all sat behind the rock, trembling. When his friends looked at the bridge, they saw nothing. Putting the incident aside, they enthusiastically began digging around the rock. After about an hour of digging, the shovel hit a wooden chest. When they lifted the chest, there was a pot underneath. Upon opening the pot, they found dried snakeskin, dry herbs, and a bottle containing a liquid that resembled blood. Mehmet, in his excitement, had already lifted the pot and hit the ground. When the gold coins inside spilled out, screams echoed through the forest from the wooded area behind the rock.